Hey all, I hope you guys are doing well. I am doing well. Welcome back to my channel. And so I wanted to talk in this video about some of the downsides of building in the village. A lot of us are excited to build in the village because we know the advantages of building in the village. But with anything, there's always a downside. And so I said, let me jot some of these things down because sometimes I ramble all of the time. But anyway, so I want this video to be quick, okay? But what I was gonna point out is the first thing that you have to deal with when you are building in the village is your absence, okay? A lot of you know I've been building my house for 3 long years. 3 long years, and part of the reason for that is I live in America and I'm building in South Africa, so I only build when I'm there. And the reason why I only build when I'm there because I don't want to come to South Africa and find a disaster. So I wanted to make sure that my house is built the way I expect it to be built. And if you don't know, I designed my house and I'm managing the building process myself, which in itself is a challenge because I didn't have experience when I was building my house, and I thought I could handle it. But it was a lot of work, and it still is, but I can see the finish line now, so it's okay. But so you have to, a lot of you will be building houses. You live in Cape Town, Johannesburg, Durban, Port Elizabeth, all the Pretoria, Johannesburg, all these big cities, and you build a house in the countryside, and so you most of the time you won't be there, and the danger there is that you might go home and find a disaster. There's no way to get around that, to be honest with you, other than, hold on, this dog, he loves to play under the table, but anyway, under the desk, sorry. But anyway, so yeah, you'll face that challenge, and I think the way to get around that is, number one, you either have to be there yourself. You know the saying, if you want things done right, you have to do them yourself. That's number one. Or you have to have someone who's very skilled, that you can trust, who updates you constantly. Like my painter, who painted while I was not there, she sent me videos, she sent me pictures, she sent me a lot of the progress. But that's not always a guarantee that the right thing will be done, because I had someone who was working on my small guest house and who sent me a picture of the part that he did, and he didn't show me the rest of the house. So a video probably will give you more information, but again, people are so, you know, like crooked, that they can do angles in a way that you would think that things are done correctly. When I finally went home, I found out that he had done such a bad job, like crooked walls and everything, and we had to redo all of that. So yeah, that's number one issue, is that you won't be there most of the time. And another issue is access to skilled labor. So unless you take a contractor that, you know, like is established, and they have their own labor that they trust, and you've seen their work, the chances are that you will find a lot of Omachansana. People will take chances with your project, which I ran into a lot, because people are not afraid to say, I know how to do something. Maybe they've seen it, maybe they've been involved with, you know, like with the industry, but they're not the skilled people. Maybe they were laborers in a previous project, so they say, we know how to do something. So you'll get a lot of that. So finding skilled labor sometimes is a challenge. The reason why I ended up hiring my own people was because a lot of times, in fact, I didn't know this when I started building, but a lot of times people who are subcontractors, they go out there and they find people off the street, and that repulsed me, because I'm like, okay, why am I paying you to be the middleman, to go find people off the street and say, you know, like they need to do this work, when I can do that myself and cut you and pay people decent money directly, rather than you being the middleman and basically not doing much. Yes, there are times where you need a middleman to do certain things for you. And the value, again, as I said, if a person has an established company and established crew that is very skilled, then yes, there's a benefit there. But if they are going to grab people off the street and put them as part of their labor, that's a red flag that, you know, they don't have the people. And so you're going to face a lot of that when you're building in the village. People who are unskilled. How you get around that is really just to see them working, doing work, and then make sure that, you know, like they're actually the ones doing work rather than helping out, you see. So another issue is resources in general, okay? First of all, more likely when you're building your village home, you won't have water access. So that means you have to buy. So there is hidden costs that, you know, like you know, like are there, but you don't really realize them because, you know, like you're so focused on building your home. Like I had to buy a Jojo tank, and I had my cousin borrowed me his Jojo tank, and I had to buy a lot of water. So that was kind of a hidden cost, to be honest with you, because I bought a lot of water, you know, like, because again, there was no like we didn't have water on my lot. So that was one of the challenges. And so another issue would be excuse me, something like buying stuff. Sorry, excuse me, buying stuff. Like locally, there aren't a lot of things that are available. Okay, I had to buy my my roof sheets from Port Elizabeth. I had to buy some things from Cape Town. I had to buy, like, everything was delivered from afar, and that was a lot of delivery. I mean, I'm still paying to this day. If you were to see my bank account for the delivery costs that I've paid from our town to my village house, I pay 500 rands for a small pickup truck, like, you know, like a Ipake. I pay 500 rands. If I go up, I pay upwards of you know, like 1,750. I've paid that. I've paid 1,500, paid 1,400. So sometimes they take chances, you know, because they think you don't know. And from East London, every time I come from East London for a small buggy, like a pickup truck, for those who don't know what a buggy is, I pay like 2,700 every time. And I don't know how many times I went to East London. So, and this speaks really to, maybe if I had a contractor, they would know, you know, like to buy all these things all at once and bring them in. Even something as, you know, like as simple as blocks, I bought them from, you know, like Mthatha, and I can't recall how much the delivery was, but every time I bought the blocks, and I had to rent, you know, like the forklift as well, so that they can be lifted off the truck, because I would buy, you know, like the full size truck of blocks, and I paid like at the time, like it was 31,000 for a full truck, and then, you know, like that included the forklift, so, and the delivery. But the point is here is everything, you buy everything from far. If you are fortunate enough that you live near a big town, so you won't face this problem. Like, let's say if you live very close to East London, which is where I bought most of my stuff, or if you live very close to like Port Elizabeth, you know, like, but I don't want to say Cape Town, because none of us are villages near Cape Town. Like, it's people who are farmers who live near Cape Town, and we live like very far. So the bigger towns, you know, like near your village, it's an advantage. So maybe when you selecting a lot, you might, you know, like you might end up keeping that in mind. Another issue is, as I said, in the village stores, we have very limited selection, and a lot of times the quality is not good, because we buy from these stores like these hardwares that are like just makeshift, and they push these cheap, poor quality products. As a result, whenever I can, I will see if I can buy stuff from here in America and bring them to my village home. Like, you know, like tools and stuff like that. That way I don't buy over and over and over, because I hate wasting money. And on, you know, like on products that, you know, don't last for a long time. And so another issue related to labor is, because you are in the village, more likely you will have to cook for your labor. But what I've done, I didn't have space to cook, number one. Number two, I mean, imagine cooking for men, like 10 men, 12 men at a time on a daily basis, sometimes 2 times a day, because I know I've noticed a lot of them, they eat 2 times a day, and then during the day they'll have a snack. But what I've done is to make sure that I pay them well. I pay them well so that, you know, like they can take care of their food. And it is up to them to keep that in mind, that, you know, like I need to be able to eat, and I need to be able to, you know, like to take some money home. So I need to charge accordingly. I've had experiences where, you know, like people charge, you know, like they charge an amount and they would want me to cook for them. And I'm like, no, charge for your food as well. That way I don't have to be in the middle of that, because first of all, I don't have the, you know, like the capacity to cook. I don't even cook for myself in my village home at this point, because I don't have, you know, like a place. So deal with it. So a lot of them are happy to just take the money and, you know, like buy their own food, and also they can save. And the thing is that a lot of times if you cook for them, they abuse you. Like when you give them money and say, okay, this is how much you're charging, and, you know, like take care of your own groceries, they're very economical. So that again is something that, you know, like to keep in mind. And another, like, obviously other hidden costs when it comes to building a home in a village, everything is virgin land, right? And so that means you have to figure out a way to hold on. So you have to start from scratch with your electricity, with your water, with your, you know, like a lot of things. Like you don't have anything, so you're starting from scratch. Oh, another one is you have to fence your yard. I mean, people do that in cities as well, but again, these are the, you know, like the hidden costs that, you know, like we don't think of when we're building in the village. Another thing is, major thing for me cost-wise, is security. As you guys know, I have more than 30 windows in my house, and I have, I don't know how many doors. I'm talking about external doors. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, like without the sunroom, which is like open, you know. And so, but the point here I'm trying to make is that you need security for all those windows. But on top of that, nowadays, I will advise you to have a camera, and because with a camera, then you can, you know, like monitor your home. Even if you have a person, oh, that's another thing. You have to have someone who lives in your home, who watches over your home if you don't have family members close by or people you can trust close by. Like in my case, you know, like I have to build another house that is going to be for the security guard. Initially, I had built the guest house for security guard, but it's so nice. I made it so nice that I made it to a guest house. So, but I'm going to build another house that is a little bit smaller, and that is going to be for the guard. And that way I don't have to worry about my stuff and all of that. I can, you know, like make it as reasonable and comfortable for the guard as possible without putting high-end tiles and all those things. But the point I'm trying to make is that that's, again, another cost that you have to keep in mind. So these are all the challenges that you know, like you face when you are building in the village. And so you have to keep that in mind. For me, I've been building my house for 3 years now, and as I said, because I'm not there, so I build when I'm there. But if I, you know, like even if I was in South Africa, it'd probably be taking this long or maybe longer. But it would probably take this long because I would be living maybe in Cape Town or Johannesburg. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same story. And so, but yeah, I hope this was helpful. These are things to keep in mind. Yes, there are tons of benefits with building in the village. You know, once you're done, you will be just faced with maintenance and maybe some, I believe that there will be things that are coming down the pike in terms of costs as, you know, like rural areas develop, like maybe we'll have better roads, you know, like water. Like in our village, we don't have water. We don't have water coming in. We have taps, but we don't have water. And so, like, if we want, you know, better services and all these things, at some point we probably will have to pay money, you know, like to have, because nothing comes mahala, nothing comes free. There is always a cost associated with something. So we'll have to pay, even if we pay very little, I think at some point. But more importantly, another cost that I absolutely forgot, guys, is the cost of roads. You know, like people assume that, you know, there are no costs because, you know, we don't pay tariffs and stuff. But remember, we pay, if you have a car, you pay taxes, I hope. And so when you pay taxes, you need to make sure, I mean, the government needs to make sure that you have roads, and we don't have roads. And because so many people don't live in the village, they don't demand those things, and politicians know this. So they don't feel any obligation to serve the people who are, you know, like in the villages. So now your car gets banged up, and you have a lot of costs associated with that because the roads are bad, you know, like I mean, the potholes going from the main road to my house are unimaginable. We even have cliffs. It's so dangerous. And these are the things that you wouldn't necessarily face if you lived in the city. And so this is, again, not to discourage anyone, but I just want people to be aware that there are those things. And I know a lot of people are aware. I'm talking about the people who are waking up now into how marvelous the villages are. And that's totally fine. And again, everything is doable, everything is manageable. You just need to be aware that, you know, like there are these costs that are hidden or not so hidden, that you have to bear in mind when you are embarking on your own journey of building your dream home in the village. And let's do it.